Hello everyone. In today's video we are going to talk about Portainer Ubuntu install, manage Docker and Kubernetes with GUI. Myself Mohammad Zubair and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro really fast. So without any further ado, let's get started. Well, for the Linux, I am using Ubuntu 22.04 version. First of all, what we need to do, we need to make sure that our system is updated. So I'll write here sudo space apt update and it will update all of the packages into our system. So I'll hit enter. It will take a little bit of time. We are done with the update and now it's time to install Docker. Command for that is sudo space apt space install space docker.io. Hit enter. Press Y from here and hit enter once again and it will take around 310 megabytes of disk space into your Ubuntu. It will take a little bit of time. We are done here with the first command and now we need to run another. This time I'll write here sudo space snap space install space docker. Hit enter one more time. It will download some of the prerequisite for the snap store and then it will download the Docker image into our Ubuntu. We are done here with the installation and now let's check the version of our installed Docker. So the command for that is docker space --version and just hit enter. So at the moment the installed version is 20.10.21. After that, let's try something and let's see if it is working or not. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass a message into my Docker. So I'll write here sudo space docker space run and after that let's have a simple message. I'll write here hello world. After that hit enter and here if you see here it says hello from Docker. It means our Docker is up and running and it is working pretty fine. Let me just clear my terminal and this time let's run one more command and this time I'll write here sudo docker space images. Hit enter and if you remember we passed hello world, that was a message. Basically that was the name of our image that we wanted to create. And here you see, here we have the image available and that shows our Docker is up and running and it is working pretty fine without any problem. So we are done with the Docker installation and now it's time to set up our Portainer onto our Docker into our Ubuntu. So for that purpose, just open your favorite browser and go to the official website of Portainer, which is portainer.io. After that, if you have this kind of interface, go to this install section at the top right side, just click on it. From here, it will give you the option in terms of its edition. We want to go for community edition because it's free. So I'll just click on install Portainer CE now. CE stands for community edition. So just click on it. And from here, we have two options. Either we can set up a new Portainer CE server installation or we can add environment to the existing one. But as we are doing it for the first time, that is why we'll go for the first option. So I'll just click on it. And from here we have two options. Either we can go for Docker standalone or basically it's a Docker by default. Then we have Docker Swarm and then we have Kubernetes. As we are talking about the Docker this time in this video, we'll stick with Docker standalone option. You can also go for Kubernetes because the process is same. So I'll just click on the first option that says Docker standalone. And after that here it says install Portainer CE with Docker on Linux. Yes, I want to install it onto my Linux because Ubuntu is obviously a Linux distribution. That is why I'll just click on first option and after that it will give us the documentation to install it. If you scroll down here we have everything that we need in order to install Portainer. So first of all here we have to create a volume with the name of Portainer data. So just copy this command from here, go back to your terminal. And this time I'll write here sudo space and after that just paste the command that you have copied and you will see a new volume will be created with the name of Portainer data. After you are done with the first command, what we need to do now, we need to download and install the Portainer server container and for that purpose you just need to copy this command. Let's go back again. Again I'll write here sudo space and I'll paste the command in here. Hit enter and now it will download and install the Portainer service. Okay. There is one more thing and that is this is the IP address that will be needed or you can say that will use to access our Portainer. And in case if you want to have something else, for example, let's say you want to have HTTP port for open legacy reasons, you can use 9000 port here as well. As you can see, we have all the details in here. So you just need to use a flag as -p and then the port numbers as 9000 and 9000. Let's go back. So basically in this command we have different flags and we have different sections that we have used. So just go to this documentation and you are good to go. So basically we are done with the installation, or you can say with everything that was needed to have Portainer onto our Docker. Now it's time to access it. How can we do that? Well, here if you see here it says localhost and then the port number. Let's go back. And this time what I'll do, I'll use my IP address. So I'll write here IP space -a, or you can write here A, hit enter. It will show you your IP address. My IP address is 192.168.231.134. So let's use this one and let's go to our favorite browser. I'll just have my IP address, which is 192.168.231.134, and after that we need to mention the port number. So this is the default interface that you will get. Now in here, in order to set it up, enter your password and make sure it is at least 12 characters long. So I'll have my password in here. After that we need to confirm that password and we are good to go. So I'll just click on create user and we are done. So this is our Portainer and we can get started and we can have different environments in it. If I go to my home, here you see we already have 2 containers available and they are up and working. At the moment it is disconnected. Just click on live connect and it will connect it. And here we have 2 containers, 1 volume, 2 images and 3 networks. If I go to containers section, you see we have 1 Portainer and we have 1 more that is there by default. Now let's go to app templates. So basically what we can do, we can add different applications into our Portainer, like we can have registry, Ubuntu, Nginx, we can go for MariaDB, MySQL, we can also go for WordPress, and you name anything. We have a lot of them available in here. After that, in terms of the stacks, we can have different stacks that we can add into this one, and we can do a lot more things. Then in terms of the network, we'll have different things. Let's say you add a stack in here. Let's say I'm talking about Nginx. What Nginx will do, Nginx will have its own network in here. And you can see that network into this section that is called as network. So basically you will have every information about the network that is being used by Nginx. So we'll see everything in here. So first of all, let's have Nginx set up into our Portainer and let's install it. So first of all, let's go to the official website for Nginx. So I'll just search for Nginx Proxy Manager, hit enter, here it is, and we need to go to its documentation. Just click on this get started button and here we have quick setup, full setup and screenshots. If you go into full setup, it will give you a lot of things that you can go for. But for the moment, we only need something that can be done quickly. So I'll just go back, I'll go for quick setup. And here we have instructions that we need, or you can say these are the YAML file statements that we need. So you just need to copy this one from here. I'll just copy everything. Let's go back to our Portainer and now let's go to our stacks. And in here we need to add a new one. So I'll just click on this plus add stack button, and in here we need to give name to our stack. I'll name it as Nginx-proxy. After that, down here under the web editor, paste the commands or the instructions that you had followed from the official website of Nginx Proxy Manager, which is this one. So I'll just right click on it, I'll paste everything, and down here we have the information about the volume. Well, it's up to you if you want to keep it. For the moment, I'll just delete it. After that, scroll down and here it says deploy the stack. I'll just click on this one and now it will deploy this stack into our Portainer and we'll be able to access it. It will take a little bit of time for the deployment, so be patient. After that, you can see that one into your dashboard. So let it get deployed and we have deployed it successfully. Now if you go to your dashboard, go to your containers, here you see we have Nginx proxy available and it is up and running. And here we have the ports number that we can access. So let's open all of them and we'll be able to access them. So basically this is for the HTTPS, and then we have the congratulations message, and here we have the login screen for our Nginx. The default email address is admin@example.com and the password is change me. Hit enter. And you see we have successfully accessed our Nginx, and here it is asking if we want to edit the user, which is there by default, and it was admin@example.com. For the moment I'll just cancel this one. So this is the dashboard, and from here we can add different hosts and then we can have access list. Basically we can allow and deny different things to have access. Then we have SSL certificate. You can have different users in here. At the moment we only have one, which is administrator, and in case if you want to add a new user, just click on it and you are good to go. Then we have audit log, and at the end we have settings obviously. Now let's go back to dashboard, and now I'll go back to my Portainer, and this time let's have something in here. And this time I'm going for WordPress. So let's go to our app templates and let's go for our WordPress. Scroll down, you will see WordPress right there. Here it is. I'll just click on it, and here we have to give some name to our stack that we are going to create for our WordPress. You can name it anything. I'll just name it as WordPress. And then for the database root password, you can have anything for your password. I'll go for hello1234. After that, just deploy this stack. Again, it will take a little bit of time, and we have successfully deployed the WordPress stack. Here you can see we have the message. Now if I go to my dashboard, let's go to our containers, and you will see we have our WordPress and its database available as well, and both are up and running. Now let me just open this WordPress stack, and if I scroll down, you will see that it has its own network. As you can see, under the network section it says WordPress_default. But what I want it to be in the same network as Nginx, because I want it to be proxied through my Nginx. I do not want it to be accessed directly. Let me go back to my dashboard, and let me open my containers. You will see here that we have port numbers available and they are exposed. So first of all, I want to hide these port numbers, and I want to make sure that my WordPress is under the same network as Nginx. So how can we do that? Well, first of all, what we need to go to our stacks, and from here I'll open my WordPress stack, and let's just edit this one. So this is the port number. I want to hide this one, so I'll simply delete it. And after that, just come down, and we need to have the network in here. Basically, let me just duplicate this particular tab. I'll just duplicate it. And from here, if I go to my networks, here we have a network as Nginx proxy default. We need this one for our WordPress as well. So basically we need to include this one in here. So what I'll do, I'll write here networks, hit enter, and in this one I'll include the Nginx. So I'll write here Nginx -proxy_default. And if you see, this is the same one that we had for our Nginx. After that, we need to have its colon again. Hit enter one more time, and here I'll write external :true, and we are done. So this was the configuration that we needed to do. At the top, if you see, it says there is an error in YAML syntax because there is a problem with the indentation, so make sure that everything is in the perfect shape. Other than that, we also need to select the network on the container level. So for that purpose, above the volume, I'll write here networks : hit enter, and here I'll write Nginx proxy default. So I'll simply write it here, Nginx -proxy_default. Make sure you have a space between hyphen and your Nginx or your network name. After that, I'll copy these two lines because we need to use it down here as well. So I'll simply copy this one, and down here under the restart, I'll paste it in here. So basically now we have the same network for both of these containers. Again, we have indentation problem, and now you can see now we do not have any problem. After that, just scroll down and click on update this stack. It will update our stack and it will deploy it again. So we are done here with the changes and the deployment of our stack. And now if I go to my networks, here I have Nginx proxy default. If I just click on it, you will see that now both Nginx and WordPress are under the same network. And this is what we wanted to achieve. Now let's go back to our dashboard and let's go to our containers. And now you see the port numbers are also hidden, and this was the second thing that we wanted to do. So we are done with everything, and now it means we are ready to deploy our host into our Nginx. So for that, I'll just click on this host, click on proxy host, and from here just click on this add proxy host button one more time. From here, name your domain anything, and it's all up to you that with which choice you want to go. I'll name it as WordPress.test, or you can name it anything. After that, click on this add WordPress.test button. Now here we have the scheme. In case if you want to go for HTTPS, you can also go for that. I'll stick with HTTP, and here we have to enter the name for our forward host name. For that purpose, let me go back, and this time I'll go to my stacks. Here I have my WordPress. I'll just open that one, and this time I'll go to its editor, because there is one more thing that we need to do, and that is we need to specify the container name. So I'll write here container underscore name colon, and we have to give a name. So I'll write here WordPress hyphen service. Scroll down and let's update this one. So I'll just update my stack and let's see what do we get again. And now for the forward host name, I'll write the same name that I had earlier for my container, which was WordPress hyphen service. And here for the forward port, you can go for any port as per your liking. I'll stick with 80. And then I'll enable the option for cache assets, then for the web shocks, and then for the block common exploits as well. Then we have custom location. It means if you have some APIs, some path available, you can mention them in here. Then we have the SSL, which is SSL certificate for your security. You can also mention that in here. And then we have some advanced setting in here. I'll stick with only the basic settings, and I'll stick in the details section. And after that, I'll just click on this save button. And here you see WordPress has been deployed into our Nginx proxy manager, and it is online and access is public. But now, whoever want to access this WordPress, it will be the access through our Nginx. It means no one will be able to access it directly, and that was the reason that why we made the single network for our Nginx and WordPress, and why we hide those port numbers. So this was all about the Docker, and in case if you want to go for the Kubernetes, you can also deploy your Portainer on the Kubernetes by just going to the official website of Portainer, and then you can have the instruction that how you can have your Portainer on Kubernetes. And in case if you want to have your Kubernetes inside your Portainer, you can go to add templates and you can look for Kubernetes in this one, and you can simply add it as a template into this one. So how cool and how easy it is. So that was all about Portainer Ubuntu installation and how we can manage Docker and Kubernetes with the help of GUI. And that also brings me to the end of this particular video. I hope now you have an idea that how you can make sure that your Portainer runs smoothly with the help of your Docker into your Ubuntu machines, and how you can have the same process for your Kubernetes. And if that is the case, do leave a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Till the next video, take care.